Now right now, my guitar is only in drop D. So I'm not going to be needing to do that much of a change. It's only the 6th string. So I'm going to be going from drop D to E standard. Now you're going to need a few tools. Just really simple stuff that you should have anyways. Guitar tuner. I got this Samson, it's great. It does bass, guitar, and chromatic vibration and clip. Or vibration and sound, sorry. Screwdriver. And sorry, I'm doing this on my laptop, so it's a little weird. Set of hex keys. This is all basic stuff that you should have if you're working on your instrument. And really, if you want to be a good musician, it's good to know your instrument and to do the stuff yourself. If you come into a complex issue, bring it to somebody who does this every day. But the simple stuff, you should know how to do it. So, the first thing you gotta do, the lock nut up here, it's just 3 hex bolts. You gotta take those off. You don't have to take them completely off. You can just loosen them. On the Ibanez, they're 3mm. Now, the point of having the locking nut for people who don't know anything about floating tremolo systems is when you bend on the tremolo, when you pull up or even dive bomb, your tuners are going to get pulled, and that will pull the string out of tune tremendously. So they locked it up there, which solved that issue. But if these are locked, do not touch these tuners. If you fuck with them too much, you're going to break your neck, because it's going to destroy all the tension up here, and it's going to offset the whole thing, which it can break it. There are fine tuners on the tremolo system down here, and that's what you want to use when these are locked. Now, they won't get a whole lot of range for your tune with your tuning, so that's why it's good to get as close as you can up on the top of the neck before you do that. So now that unlocking nut is unlocked, I'm going to set my fine tuners halfway. Sorry I keep moving this around. When you set the fine tuners halfway, you allow for the range of motion. I'm actually going to move the laptop. You allow a range of motion forward and back. Which is fairly helpful. So now I'm going to flip the guitar over to the back plate. You want to remove the black back plate. Make sure you don't lose these screws. They're not expensive, but why spend money on it if you don't lose them? Now, I'm going to explain a little bit back here. My guitar, you can see this. I don't know how good the quality is. I have 4 springs. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's because I'm using 11 to 56 strings. They're medium to lights, I'm pretty sure. And if the higher gauge string you're going to use, the more springs you're going to need. If you're using 9s or 10s, then you can get away with 3 springs, no problem. I wouldn't go any less than 3, because then your tuning stability you start to lose tuning stability. So, but when like 11s and up, keep 4 springs, and 13s or something like that, 12s, you're probably gonna want to have some like 5 springs all the way across. Now, this slight difference between Ibanez and any Floyd Rose, licensed Floyd Rose product, is where you tune it from. Floyd Rose, you make this part right here, like where you would put your whammy bar in, level to the body, so it would look more like that. That plate right there would be level to my body. Now with the Ibanez tremolos, because theirs is slanted, there's a little flat part. Right on top of there. I'm gonna see if I can. Right. Oh, my knob's in the way. What the hell? Well, right in front of your tuning. Right here. It's gonna be flat. And you want that theoretically level to your body. So it will look more or less like that. So the next thing you want to do, take your tuner, see how far off you are with your tuning, and retune up here. Actually, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to explain one more thing. This is a little block of wood. When you retune your Floyd Rose tremolo system up here, because it's floating on springs, and to get your stable tuning, you gotta have your spring tension in the back level and the same as your string tension in the front. There's no easy way to do this, but I took a couple pieces of wood, shimmed them, and glued them together, and it found a piece that will stick between this slot right here, between the tone block and where the springs go in, and the wood on my body. Right now I just gotta loosen my springs a little. Now back here, half a turn is a big movement. I kind of know whereabouts my guitar should be, so I'm doing a little bit more. And when you get your, I don't know if you can see it, but I drew with a pencil whereabouts my claw is going to be with E standard, but this was when I had 3 springs. So this is a while ago when I did this. But it's a good idea to mark it so you have a relative point. Now, when you tune higher, your trem system is going to climb. So it's going to go level, up, 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 up. When you tune it down, it's going to go that way. When you adjust the springs, it's going to go like that, or it's going to go like that. So you want it level. I take this block of wood, I put it right there. My tremolo system's not going to climb anymore. So I can tune it to E without it climbing. So that's what I'm going to do now. Now my fine tuners, they're level. This is now tuned to 4040 or 440 E standard. Now, whoops. Take your screwdriver, little half turns. Shit, mine's starting to strip a little. That will happen. You can go to all parts. You can get new claw screws. They're easy to install. You take one out, put the other one in. Now, the more you tighten this, the springs are going to pull. We're just going to take tension off where the block is. And eventually, the block will fall out. Then you know you should be into. You might need to do this a little bit. Like, see, my E right now is a little flat. My A is flat, D, G, B, E. So, grab my screwdriver off the floor because it keeps falling. And put the block back in. I'm going to give it a little bit more of a turn. See what that does. Closer. Now, my high strings are a lot lower than, like, a lot flatter than my low strings. So that means, because you got two screws, turn one a little bit more, then you're going to do the next one, then the top one. Your screw on the top is for your low strings. Screw on the bottom is for your high strings. I went a little bit too high. Actually, there you go. I'm going to try and show you on my tuner. No idea really how I'm going to do this. E is fairly close. A. Oops. D. G. B. Those are all either dead on or in the 1%. If it's in the 1%, don't worry. You have fine tuners. Take that off. Now, I'm all done with the back. Lock your locking nut up at the top. Don't over tighten. You'll strip it. Just till they're fairly snug. I usually give it a little pull, but I'm not wrenching on it because that will destroy it. You have a bigger problem on your hand. So now, take your tuner again. Now you're going to play with the fine tuners. My E went a lot sharper, so I'm going to rotate this fine tuner counterclockwise. With the lefty loosey, righty tighty. Kind of the same thing. Till I'm right on E. E. When you lock it, it should go sharp. Sometimes it won't. Don't worry. All mine went sharp about 2%. 2 to 3%. I always have an issue with the B string. Alright. And E's in tune. So now, we're back in 440.